Hi, this is Dr. Ashma. This video is about the anatomy of dural venous sinuses. What are dural venous sinuses? They are venous channels present between the endosteal and meningeal layers of dura mater. The exceptions are the straight sinus and inferior sagittal sinus, which are present within the meningeal layer of dura mater. Dural venous sinuses are classified into paired and unpaired sinuses. Some of the paired sinuses are transverse sinus, sigmoid sinus, superior petrosal sinus, inferior petrosal sinus, sphenoparietal sinus and cavernous sinus. Mentioning some of the unpaired sinuses, the superior sagittal sinus, inferior sagittal sinus, straight sinus and occipital sinus. Here we see two dural folds, namely the falx cerebri and the tentorium cerebelli. At the upper attached margin of the falx cerebri, we have the superior sagittal sinus. This superior sagittal sinus lies in the superior sagittal sulcus and it is between the endosteal and the meningeal layers of dura mater. At the inferior free margin of the falx cerebri, we have the inferior sagittal sinus which is within the falx cerebri, and so this inferior sagittal sinus is situated within the meningeal layer of dura mater. At the junction of the posterior end of falx cerebri with the superior surface of tentorium cerebelli, we have the straight sinus. This straight sinus again is present between the falx cerebri and tentorium cerebelli, which are folds of meningeal layer of cranial dura mater. And so the straight sinus is also situated between the meningeal layers of dura mater and not between the endosteal and meningeal layers like other sinuses. I would like to stress here that all the dural sinuses are present between the endosteal and meningeal layers of cranial dura mater except the inferior sagittal sinus and the straight sinus, which are situated within the meningeal layers of cranial dura mater. Now, let's see the dissection of superior sagittal sinus. I have made a cut along the upper attached margin of the falx cerebri and I have reached the superior sagittal sinus. My forceps is inserted into the superior sagittal sinus. This is the inferior free margin of the falx cerebri which lodges the inferior sagittal sinus. The inferior margin with the inferior sagittal sinus rests on the corpus callosum. In this video, we can see the falx cerebri resting on the tentorium cerebelli. At the junction of the falx with the tentorium, there is the straight sinus. Now, I am dissecting the straight sinus and I have placed the scissors inside the straight sinus to demonstrate. See, that is the straight sinus at the junction of falx cerebri with the tentorium cerebelli. Now let's see a few bony prominences in order to understand the location of the dural venous sinuses. This is the pituitary fossa which is situated in the body of sphenoid. This is the superior margin of petrous part of temporal bone on either side which lodges the superior petrosal sinus. Here you find an S-shaped sulcus which is the sigmoid sulcus on either side. This sigmoid sulcus lodges the sigmoid sinus. Along the posterior attached margin of the tentorium cerebelli, you have the transverse sulcus which lodges the transverse sinus. This video demonstrates the situation of transverse sinus along the posterior attached margin of tentorium cerebelli. This is where you will see the transverse sinus. Here we see that the transverse sinus continues as the sigmoid sinus. The sigmoid sinus enters into the jugular foramen and continues as the internal jugular vein. The transverse sinus and sigmoid sinus are paired sinuses. In the upper border of the petrous part of temporal bone, we have the superior petrosal sinus, which is also a paired sinus. The cavernous sinus is situated on either side of the body of sphenoid. The pituitary gland forms the supromedial relation for the cavernous sinus. Here we see the situation of the cavernous sinus in the middle cranial fossa. The cavernous sinus is situated on either side of the body of sphenoid. The cavernous sinus is situated on either side of the body of sphenoid. At the posterior margin of the lesser wing of sphenoid, we have the sphenoparietal sinus, which is a paired sinus. At the internal occipital crest, we have the occipital sinus. The confluence of sinuses is present in the internal occipital protuberance. This is a place where the superior sagittal sinus, straight sinus, right and left transverse sinuses and the occipital sinus meet. At the clivus, we have the basilar plexus. Now let's see the layout of the dural venous sinuses. The superior sagittal sinus continues as the right transverse sinus. This transverse sinus continues as sigmoid sinus, which enters into the jugular foramen. Then it continues as the internal jugular vein. The inferior sagittal sinus joins with the great vein of Galen to form the straight sinus. The straight sinus continues as the left transverse sinus, which continues as the sigmoid sinus. Sigmoid sinus enters the jugular foramen and continues as the internal jugular vein. The superior sagittal sinus continues as the right transverse sinus. The inferior sagittal sinus joins with the great vein of Galen to form the straight sinus, which continues as the left transverse sinus. The transverse sinuses of the two sides continue as the sigmoid sinus of the corresponding sides. The sigmoid sinuses enter the jugular foramen and continue as the internal jugular vein. Thus, the internal jugular vein is a continuation of the sigmoid sinus. Thank you for watching this video. Feel free to post your comments. Thank you.